document everything.
Editing that in.
Dude, that was the sound of that?
Yeah, probably.
No. Seem to have it, okay. Oh, wow. Want me to push it? Is that what you just said?
Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Camera, a behind-the-scenes look on how Beyond the Gate was made. I'm Kelly O'Rourke, producer of the Beyond series, here to give you an inside look on the production.
Well, my family moved to Millbrook when I was about 5 years old from Peterborough. And lo and behold, when we moved to Millbrook, the jail was still open. The economy of Millbrook was basically based around that jail. By about the 5th year of living here or so, the jail itself actually closed. That was, I think, 2003. But around 2007 to 2009, through those years, you could basically get into the jail. And I, of course, living so close to it, had to. Nothing was sealed up, and you could just get from point A to, well, wherever you wanted to go. You could get to the rooftops, you could get to the cell blocks, the industrial areas. It was great. So I would always take pictures. One day I decided to post them on Facebook just to show everyone. I thought it was neat photography.
The album was actually titled It's Not Chernobyl, It's My Backyard. And I thought, that's interesting. I was going to look through the pictures. And at the time, I didn't even know Zach lived in Millbrook. And I was thinking, oh, this is somewhere in Peterborough, somewhere in the industrial kind of district. And I was trying to figure out what the building was. And as I looked through the pictures, it was just the outside of the jail, but I could see the towers, and there wasn't a lot left, but I started thinking that it was a jail.
And of course, Jason was one of the many people who asked, well, what is all of this stuff? And I, of course, explained to him, it's the jail that's in my backyard. And we decided to organize a group to go and pay the jail a visit. I didn't really think that we'd be getting inside of the jail at all, but of course we did.
And one thing led to another, and it just became a big internet episode that just kept continuing. And it was great. It was, you know, a lot of fun filming it, a lot of fun watching the episodes and recapping, and it was a great experience going there. It was, you know, it was like one of the best things in life so far. It was just so cool to be in there after, especially the place has been closed.
So when we got in as a group, we actually got entered in at a point that I had never been to before, so it was a complete shock to me.
This is not the room I thought it was.
I really didn't know where we were, but it was just like euphoric. I mean, you can hear some of our shouts in the video.
Okay, crap, does everybody else feel like they're in a dream? Answer me, damn it, I don't want to be dreaming.
When I was as excited as any. It was as though I'd never been in before.
To know we're, you know, sort of the only people who've been in there for a long time, and maybe the last ones ever in there if they go through the plans of actually demolishing what's left. So it's really cool to know you're sort of the only people who've fully documented the place since it's actually been open.
When we first got into the prison, I was beyond ecstatic. I was thrilled. There's no words that can really fully describe what was going through my head at that moment. You can see that I get excited because my camera work, it speeds up, as did my heartbeat. It was just an overall amazing experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
My favorite part of the jail would have to be, you know, the most obvious part of a jail was the cells. It was just the coolest thing of looking into each and every one of those cells, and the beds are still there, and the classic sound of, you know, closing the door with that rattling, and then the big crash as it closes against the other frame on the other side.
So having already been to the jail before, a lot of the places were quite familiar. Could I say that I had a favorite part? I don't know if I could, because it was all just amazing to see everything again.
It was just sort of my favorite thing, going through and looking, you know, in the beds and taking pictures. And it was just, you know, knowing that prisoners were once there and now it's just abandoned as an empty place, sort of a forgotten place that no one's been to in a long time. it was really cool just looking through what was really history, and that no one really will ever be back there.
To see the holes in the walls and the bullets, and it was like being in a movie or something. You don't expect to see these kinds of things in your everyday life, and it was like a movie. It was really cool.
To go back into the Millbrook Correctional Center and see it come back to life was amazing. To see the standards that prisoners live in to this day was ultimately eye-opening. Even though the prison's doors have been shut, just to see the ironic beauty of a deteriorating prison for 2 days is an experience I plan on holding on to.
Having the camera there was, for the most part, I really didn't even notice. You know, it didn't feel like I was pressured, you know, to make any sort of special remarks or appearances. Like, everything in the series is all sort of natural and unplanned.
It was different because well, like I said, it felt like you were part of something else. It felt like you were documenting a piece of history kind of thing. The
camera being there didn't really change anything for me, you know, other than a couple times, you know, looking at the camera as you walk by kind of thing. Like, but other than that, no, it didn't really feel pressured to make you say or do anything differently. It was just sort of the aspect of having it there and making a cool show out of the end, you know, once you documenting everything that was in there.
I remember always looking at pictures that people had posted online of being inside, but to actually be there myself, that was just so amazing.
Would I go back? Yes. Would I bring a camera with me again? Yeah, I would. There's so much of the prison that isn't properly shown in the series that no matter how many times you go into the complex, a camera should be a necessity. Now, I would like to go back once more with my still camera and take photographs this time, because that's one thing I was really never able to do.
See, the thing that I most enjoyed about the series was probably the fact that as we were doing the show itself, we were learning all of this information about like the purposes of these buildings, why they were there, the surrounding buildings, for example. We found out like low-risk inmates actually escaping from those houses, things like that. That was very interesting.
To get on the roof, there was an old TV antenna kind of thing on the side, and you could climb up it. It worked as an easy ladder. And it was cool just climbing up there and kind of inspecting the roof of the building, and you could look, there's a big, you know, brick chimney still there. You could look down, just walking around the roof. It was kind of cool, and it gave you a good view of the side of the prison because you were up high on the roof, and you could look down the hill overlooking sort of the town of Millbrook and everything. And it was just a cool lookout and a cool part, because that happened before we got in the jail, and it was, you know, even if we weren't able to get in the jail, it was still cool just to be able to look at an old abandoned house, even where prisoners once walked through there, even with, or guards staying there. You know, it was still a part of history of the jail, and it was pretty neat.
It's really too bad now that they've demolished all of those houses and built over top of them, and it seems they're probably going to destroy the jail too now, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, continuing on with the Beyond series would be awesome, I think. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to find something that would top going into an abandoned jail like that, but I mean, definitely if we find something worthy of a, you know, cool, another Beyond series of some sort, I would definitely be up for making another series.
Would I ever do another Beyond series? In a heartbeat, yes, definitely. I don't think we'd ever be able to find a place that was as perfect as that jail. I mean, it was secluded, and it was a place that one of us knew a lot about, but I would totally do another Beyond the Gate any day of the week, anytime. Call me up.